Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Riot House here at Buckeye Lake, Ohio, where today this is game one of our SimWorld TV doubleheader between the Heartland Zombie Stars and the Yacht Club. I'm B-Ron alongside my man Siege. Siege, always good to have you here in the booth with me. We got a good game in our hands tonight.
Yeah, real excited. Always both excited and scared to be here in the Riot House. I'm wearing my full SWAT team gear, as always, when I'm here. So I'm excited to get this one going. We got two always feisty squads going up against each other.
Always feisty. Yacht Club coming off of a heartbreaking loss, and my goodness, what a way to start for Yacht Club. We saw them do a lot of that in their loss yesterday at Rocky Mountain. Didn't come out on top of that, but a very good game from both of those teams. And Heartland, on the other hand, come off a 20-point loss at home to SimWorld South America. But it was Kirby Ordway getting himself on the board for Heartland to start things off for them. And they're coming Bianco to the rack. Ooh, not going to get that one to go. Siege, what are you looking for here in this game from both of these teams?
Well, I'm always looking for some high-flying dunks from Yacht Club. They're always good for some of those. But really what I'm looking for, exactly what they just did there. Bianco wasn't able to finish, but they got out and they ran, and that was off of a made shot, and he was still able to get a pretty decent look at the rim. I mean, that's their game. That's what they do. Heartland Zombie Stars is the best team in the league statistically at limiting the three-point shot. So that's not always Yacht Club's strength anyway. So what I would look for them to do is attack the middle, run in transition like they always do. And for Heartland Zombie Stars, I think it's a little out of their comfort zone, but I'm looking for them to pack the lane a little bit more. Don't really let them get going like that. Be that physical team that we know they can be, and kind of intimidate them out of, maybe make them think twice about going straight to the rim.
Yeah, and that intimidation factor is always high here, especially in the Riot House. We know this is a tough environment to come into and play effectively. We'll see how the Yacht Club manages that as well in this one. Three ball up, no good. Renlosi could not grab the rebound and clean up Heartland. It is senior day for them. Coach Kenny Washington is starting all of his upperclassmen, his older players, and it's good to see that kind of thing be done here, especially at this level. You see it in most places at the normal high school level, but here in SimWorld Hoops, I wasn't sure if you would see it, so I'm glad that we are seeing at least one team doing that.
Well, in general, in SimWorld Hoops, the stakes are a little bit. Oh my God! Jesus, are we gonna get another dunk contest going on like we saw last night with Rocky and Yacht Club? It's looking a little bit like it. But
throwing that one down.
Like you were saying, you don't see it a whole lot in SimWorld. You're not sure if you're going to see it. The stakes are a little higher. The competition's a little higher than pretty much any other high school level. And for that reason, it's nice. It's refreshing. Coach Skinny doing a really good thing by these kids. If nothing else, it's a nice gesture. But at most, what it is it's one last chance for these guys on their way out to kind of get that exposure here on SimWorld TV, knowing that it's a live broadcasted game. So, really, honestly, stand-up move by Coach Skinny.
Yeah, exactly. And he has a few of those kids that are be moving on more than likely next season to the next level. Caden Randolph, Brian Webb, Shia Winterton, just name a few. Renlosi may also be moving on as well. And we'll see what happens as we prepare for the next season. But this has got to get through this one first. Ordway not able to get that one to fall. Let's start for him. Heartland is trailing to begin this one, Siege.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to come out. It's not a lineup they've been running all year, so you expect there to be a little bit of a slow start for him, especially on the offensive end. Another guy here, Adam Max, looked really, really good last night. He was getting to the rim well. He was posting up really well. Hit a couple face-up shots. I mean, he looked phenomenal, and I think they're going to want him playing at his highest level going into the race to one.
Absolutely. You're going to want a kid of his caliber to be firing on all cylinders, especially with the amount of talented bigs that are in the race to one. He's going to have a lot of tough matchups here. I'm just trying to imagine this. Dominic Bianco attacks and finishes. Behind the back move got him there, and then the nifty finish there at the end. Every time we see him do something like that, I'm always impressed by it, no matter how many times I see him do it. See, Woodway for three fires, no good.
There's one thing he's slippery when he's getting to the rim. It's before you know it, he's past you.
Absolutely. And there he
Really well.
goes again, but he gets rejected this time. Sending it
Great.
back. Yacht Club able to recover though. Shot clock still winding down. Didn't hit the rim, so shot clock down to 3 here. I get a shot off here. They do, and it
Ooh.
rattles home. Yacht Club is really looking good to begin this one here, Siege. And I want to say I'm impressed with the way they're playing, because at this point I don't think I am, and that's a good thing. But it's good to see it come out after the tough loss last night and use that. It seems that sometimes you could have a poor game and the result doesn't go the way you want it to, and you take it to heart. Then so Yacht Club's doing that here to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, they did lose last night, but what they did was they played really well. They were firing on all cylinders. They were running, they were scoring. It was just unfortunate they happened to come up against arguably the best team in the league and statistically the highest scoring team in the league. But I think what we're seeing tonight is really very similar to what we saw last night. I think the difference is they're not necessarily playing an offense that can keep up with that and beat out what they're doing, which is I think what we saw last night with Rocky Mount.
Right. No, exactly. And I wasn't saying what I said to making a point that they struggled last night, because they didn't at all. They played very well. They hung in that game until the very end. But when you play as hard as that and to come down to the very end, and like I said, to have that heartbreaking loss, sometimes that can affect your psyche, and it seems like it hasn't coming into this one, which is good. Maybe it's thanks to the quick turnaround time that they're able to play like this to begin the game, you think?
Yeah, and what I would love to take from it with this back to back they're playing is it's a level of consistency we didn't see from Yacht Club all year, and right now they're showing up with a consistent ability to score, to get out and run, all of those things, and that's promising.
Yeah, it really is. And again, coming down to the final touch of the season here, the ankle breaker. Gotta finish it though, unable to. Heartland on their end, but when it comes down to the race to one, this is the time you want to be most effective. Great defense there, sending it back the other way. Yacht Club getting rejected, and Heartland making possession of it, looking to attack, unable to get the first shot to fall, but second chance. Attacking again, no good. 2 shots at it. No buckets to be had. Yacht Club with it here again. That one's going to find the bottom of the net. 10-point lead here for Yacht Club. If you're Coach Skinny Walkton, are you going to take a timeout here, Siege?
Yeah, stop the bleeding, do something, but I'm not so sure that's going to do a whole lot. I mean, they're just they're hitting everything.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle out there for Heartland. Yacht Club performing well. They're hot. There's another miss there from Renzo Bryant. Unable to get that one to go. And Yacht Club miss again, but Max gets himself rejected. Ball will stay with Yacht Club. Minute 21. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back. Welcome back, everyone. Yacht Club with possession of the ball. Minute 21 left here in the first quarter. And something I was thinking about during the break siege with Yacht Club as Garrett Hart. It's a 3 to fall for him. But with Yacht Club heading into the race to 1, Heartland being out of it, for either side, mostly Yacht Club, does that change maybe how you play the game, run your offense, that kind of stuff? Are you trying anything different, or are you trying to get into the mindset of this is what we're going to do in the race to 1?
So I think right now what they're doing is working. I think it's the identity they've formed towards the end of the season. I think they got to run with what's working for them. Now you do maybe edit what you're doing, your scheme. You change it up a little bit, maybe depending on who you land in the first round. You always do have to kind of tailor a game plan to who you're playing as much as you want to play your own game. But for the most part, they've found something that works for them, and it's working really well.
It absolutely is working extremely well. It's a 10-point game for Yacht Club. As we're down to 20 seconds. Hart fires a 3, can't get it to go. Final 10 seconds here of the first quarter, ticking away. Heartland's in a more like a hole for the last shot here, with the final shot of the quarter. And there it goes, no good. Second chance at the buzzer. It fell, but I don't think it counted. No review here. I don't think we're gonna get an official review. So nope, we're not gonna get one. The first quarter comes to a close. 19-9, Yacht Club on top. Second quarter action getting ready to begin here at the Riot House. Haven't had a whole lot to cheer about so far for them, but I don't think they need a whole lot to get going regardless. As I said earlier at the top, we know this is a tough environment to come in and play, and Yacht Club has come in and quieted the usual raucous crowd here at the Riot House siege.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out hot. They didn't care where they were playing. I think, like you said, part of it is they played really well last night and weren't able to come out with a win. They're going to bring the same intensity tonight. And if they can bring that same intensity every night, then they're going to do well for themselves. So there's another one of those slams we keep seeing from them.
Yeah. Look, if they're going to continue to get looks like that, this one is going to be over before it really even gets started here. It's 21-9. Yacht Club out to a really comfortable lead here in the Riot House. And if you are the Zombie Stars at this point, Siege, how are you trying to turn this thing around? Where do you start, I guess, is my first question. Besides, I guess, the obvious one was on the defensive end.
I mean, it's tough because even when we've seen them play really good defensive possessions, we've seen Yacht Club just hit some really tough shots. I'm a little bit at a loss because this is the way they're playing. There's not a lot to do. I think maybe you switch up some of the defensive matchups. You know, you have a perimeter lockdown guy in Renzo. Maybe him just stop the ball. Whoever's bringing it up, don't give him a specific matchup, but just have him stop the ball. Because when they get out and run, it's an even easier bucket than one that you play good defense, but they score anyways. And then on the offensive end, they're just going to have to get some kind of action going. They haven't had a whole lot of luck on that side. I would like to see a little bit more motion, maybe some baseline to baseline, bring a pin down to the elbow, something like that. Just something to free somebody up. At the very least, you want to get good shots. If you're not making them, you're not making them. But that's not the shot you're looking for, those kind of shots. Get an uncontested shot, things like that. Just kind of get some guys open.
Right, exactly. And, you know, like you said, it's, you know, movement out the ball, setting both on and off ball screens, perhaps doing whatever you can to try to find your teammates and give them the best look possible. And for Yacht Club, I know that they're playing really well right now. I was going to take a timeout, but what do you think they have to do to keep the lead where it is and keep the foot on the gas? Because it's so sometimes what happens is you can come out really hot and play really well, but that intensity doesn't always carry through the rest of the game or a quarter and take a quarter off, and then it allows a team to come back, that kind of stuff. How do you prevent that kind of thing from happening in this case?
I mean, really, all that is that's a mental thing. That's a mental thing that you got to get yourself into the mindset of, especially if the team that you're running is this kind of run and gun that they do. They want to get out and run. I mean, that could be an exhausting thing. That's going to take a toll on your body and on your mental throughout the game, just running. So it's really got to be a mental thing. And if they're doing it right, and I think they are, they've been practicing their stamina. They've been practicing those kind of things. Probably doing a lot of sprints in practice to get ready for this. So when it comes to keeping that up, it's just that mindset of we're going to keep our foot on the gas. We're not going to let up. If that means we're going to beat this team by 40, 50 instead of being okay with winning by 15, 20, then that's what it's got to be.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely agree with you there. While we have a minute really quick, want to take a minute? Social media stuff. We are at SimWorld 4K everywhere. Follow us on all of the places. We are on the X platform. We're on, Twitter. Well, not Twitter. It's X now. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? Facebook, all that stuff.
We can call it
Instagram.
Twitter here. It's a safe.
You look. You know what I mean? Follow us over there in all those places as well. As we resume action here, 27-11. Yacht Club commanding lead. Losi can't get that jumper to fall as Bianco coming the other way with it and gets it to go.
And there's just not a lot you can do about that. If you're having a game where you're missing shots, the last team you want to go up against is the Yacht Club, because they're going to take those misses and turn them into easy layups. That's what they do. And they're just having an off shooting night, it looks like right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those kind of things are going to happen. You're not going to be on every single game. That's just a fact, of course, and how these things work. But, when you are struggling, you have to try to find something, some little thing, perhaps, to get yourself going and get yourself back into the swing of things here. Right now, Heartland is having a hard time finding anything. Adam Maxwell finds 5 more than that there, using his leverage and big body to work his way inside on the mismatch, finally.
And there he is. He's just been playing really well with his back to the basket, posting up, things like that. He's doing all those things you ask of a big, to kind of use that strength to get inside and go towards the basket. He's been, I almost want to say, picture perfect as a big in the last couple games.
But I guess as close to that as you can be anyway, especially for kids these age. Again, it's your first time checking this out. All these kids here are between 15 and 17 years old. So all these kids are still learning their bodies and growing into them throughout the season and that kind of stuff. So still figuring out as they go along here. 33-11 as Heartland takes another timeout here. That club commanding lead. You can hear a pin drop here in the right house. It's so quiet in here, Siege. We're gonna take a quick break. Come right back for the last 4:22 of the second quarter. Welcome back, everyone, to the Riot House. Yacht Club out in front, 33-11. Trying to get out of here early, and there's no mercy rule, though, so they're still got to play the whole game. And as we know, anything can happen. And Renzo Bryant says, don't go nowhere just yet, because I got a dunk for y'all. We still got a lot of game left to play.
Let me get in on that dunk action, Renzo said. How about me?
Yeah, exactly. We had a very heated, not heated discussion this morning, but we had a very fun show this morning on SimWorld today, Siege, and you know there's been a lot of talk all day about the little game you had me play this morning on the show.
Had to hit you with some tough ones. I knew we'd get some opinions from the community on those, so might have to do those a couple more times. Maybe next time you'll put me on the spot.
Maybe. I'm thinking about it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Thinking about it. I'm gonna give you some of my own. Maybe a Race to One edition. We'll see how I feel. There's a great block there, but Max able to recover. Shot going up again. Not able to finish second time either. And this time, they only hold them to 2 attempts and no points. Zombie Star is back with it. Renzo for 3. No good, but there to clean up the mess and put it right back up and in.
Getting going on the offensive glass is always a good at least one piece of coming back from a deficit like this. The other big piece is going to need to be stopped. So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, look, they got 2 in a row here, and I got to take advantage of it. And you know, as we say all the time, Siege, many of our commentators here say it. And basketball is a game of runs, and Heartland's going to need a big one to get back in this one. 2:20 left in the second quarter. 3-ball from Webb. No good. But once again on the glass, finishing that one.
The pogo stick.
Yeah. And that's what you love to see too from a big. They get the rebound and go up immediately with it if they're able to. Now the Louds out here, catching them and putting them in.
Carter Field.
And here we go, cutting the lead down. Crowd starting to get into it a little bit here. Siege 35-19, minute 40 left here in the first half of play. Laster gets by his man with a floater, and it's good.
And that's it's so tough when you're playing really well, but you got a deficit of this size. Even one bucket out of 4 is gonna gonna hurt your comeback chances. I mean, they're gonna have to go on a big run. You can chip away at it little by little, but 3 possessions at a time is gonna take a while to do. They do it the whole second half though, so there's a lot of time left. You're gonna want to go into the second half, hopefully with a little smaller deficit, and make some adjustments. And I mean, they've got plenty of time.
Yeah, very true, very true. You know, the thing about it is, this isn't like baseball where you can get it back all in once. You can get it back all at one time. That's why you can't do that. So you have to chip at it little by little, but you can do things to make it snowball into a all at once kind of scenario, if that makes sense at all.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously chipping away is usually how it goes, but if you can get it all back not once, but in one quarter, in one stretch,
yeah,
that's ideal. You would love to do that.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, they've done a good job over the last couple of minutes here, really, of getting back into it and making it a respectable deficit. It's almost down to 10 for what that's worth here, under 25 seconds. What a great shot there from Trey Willis. Circus shot fading away, using the contact to his advantage perhaps, and gets it off the glass. Shot clock is off here. Final 10 seconds of the half. Webb dribbling it around. We'll see if he can get himself inside. He does. Can't get the layup to go, and that is how the first half ends. Yacht Club out in front. Dominant performance here for them so far. 41-22. The lead as we head into the locker room, Siege. It's been a good game for Yacht Club so far. What have you seen from both teams in the first half that hasn't really right now?
Well, Yacht Club, we've seen they get out and run. They're playing good defense. Yeah, Heartland's not having their best shooting night, but Yacht Club is playing good defense. They're contesting shots. They're getting rebounds. They're getting out and running. And then another thing they're doing, they're just hitting tough shots. Adam Max is doing a great job of when he gets it in the post, he's going towards the basket. He's being strong, taking advantage of mismatches, things like that, using his size. We're seeing the rest of the team just fill what Yacht Club does really well, and we're seeing it in this game. It's not talked about enough at this level of basketball, but you got to fill your lane when your team's on a fast break. If your ball handler on the fast break is going down the middle, you're going to fill a lane, go into the corner, maybe cutting in at the wing, something like that. They're doing a great job of filling their lane. Zombie Stars, there's not a whole lot of great to talk about. 4 blocked, but hopefully they can get something going in the second half.
Yep, we'll see how it all works out. Second half action coming at you right in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
To make it 2-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere.
Oh!
Second half action here is set to begin. Hopefully, for the Zombie Stars, they can turn it around here and give this crowd something to cheer about as they trail 41-22, beginning the second half of play here. And what has to happen for them here in the second half, Siege, as we get things going? What's one of the first things that you're working on if you're Heartland to try to get this rolling in your favor?
You got to work on your transition defense. It's a hard thing to adjust mid-game, but I mean, right there it is. Another great slam from
Oh my goodness.
And that was a great example of what we talked about right before the break, B-Ron. What Hamir Johnson did right there was he filled his lane perfectly and gave his teammate a perfect lane to pass the ball to for an easy dunk. That's something they do really well. And off of that, what we've seen, they have now, with that one, 12 assists in this game, coming off a night where they had 21 against Rocky Mountain. They're moving the ball exceptionally well, and it's hard to guard a team who can move the ball like that.
It definitely is, and I feel like a lot of that, a lot of that goes to their overall team speed. They're a very fast, very quick, agile team, and when you can find little openings in a defense, it's like a quarterback throwing a pass to a receiver or it's a tight end. You can fit it in a small window and give your man an easy look at the hoop, be it on a mid-range jumper, 3-pointer, or in Yacht Club's case, a dunk. It just makes everything so much easier on offense.
Absolutely does, and a lot. I mean, I'll be real. They move the ball well in the half court. Maybe not this possession, but a lot of those assists do come off of those fast breaks and those filling of the lanes. And that just kind of boosts everyone's confidence because everyone.
Oh man, speaking of confidence boosters, that's one right there for you if you're Heartland.
They cut it to 16. That's as close as they've been in a while. But I mean, look, we all know how you feel when you're hooping with your boys and you score a bucket, a tough bucket, a 3, anything like that. But you also get that kind of electric feeling, that confidence boost when you make a great pass to a teammate for a good bucket. And so I think that does play into how we're seeing Yacht Club roll in the last couple games. Oh my God.
Adam, man.
And that's extended as much as, we talk last night and tonight they've been doing it, but their last over about a 5-game stretch, they've really been out of this world when it comes to running in the fast break, moving the ball, making smart plays. Defense has been their defense has been great. Last night excluded, but that was kind of an anomaly case. It was just a high-scoring game, but they look really good. And with this game, they are going to have the chance. If we're going to talk about the race to 1, they do have a chance to move up to the 6th seed still and take over Lone Star Basketball's spot, which would give them an H-Town Hoopers team instead of Best Coast Ballers as it sits at the moment. And if I'm either of those teams, I do not want to face this Yacht Club team right now.
No, not right now. They're looking extremely good. They're playing really well as of late over these last couple of games here. You know, in their last 5, they're 3-2, but they've been playing very well overall as a team, and that's what matters. Finding your rhythm. So they're at a incredibly crucial point of the season. Yacht Club is going to take their first time out, a leading 47-31 here, about midway through the third quarter of play, almost the first half or third half. Oh man, but as a reminder, folks, after this game we will have the post up, and then after that it'll be game 2 of our doubleheader, and that'll be Best Coast Ballers taking on SimWorld Asia Pacific. And both those teams are in the race to 1 siege. Maybe a potential preview there, perhaps meeting at some point. Who do you like in that one?
That's a great matchup, and I'll say I'm a big fan of LDO. You know how I feel about him. I think he's the best player in the league right now, but I also think Asia Pacific is one of the most dangerous teams. We talked about it this morning on the show. I think they're a team that can continue playing like they have been, the way they got them into the race to 1, taking that 8th seed and locking it up. We just saw a really tough loss from Best Coast Ballers to Oceania, so I'm kind of expecting them to come out a little more intense with a little more energy. But they're over there at APAC's home court, and I'm going to take APAC in this one.
Wow, okay. I like it, though. I like it, calling for the upset in a lot of senses there. We'll see how that game goes for sure. That was going to be a fun one to watch. But here in this one, Yacht Club is still looking really good. Heartland, however, starting to go on a little bit of a run here, giving them a run for their money here, which is what I thought we would see coming into this one again. We're going here. Go ahead, Siege.
I'll tell you what, V-Ron, someone had asked me before the game, and I actually took Zombie Stars to show out in this game. I thought it was at the very least going to be a very, very close game.
Yeah.
You know what? I should have been, but I guess I wasn't familiar with how consistent Yacht Club has become.
Right, exactly. It's a totally different team from the first half of the season. A rare charge from Bianco is going to give Heartland the ball, and Ordway fires a 3, no good. But a good look there from him. You know, his story was with the Indy Stripes earlier this season. Ended up leaving the team, Mr. Basketball of Indiana as well. And now he is over here in Ohio playing with the Heartland Zombie Stars. You know, great move there from DeMarco Graham on the inside in the post.
B-Ron, you know what I love about this surge we're seeing from Yacht Club is this is kind of the Yacht Club we expected to see all season.
Yeah.
Coming into the season, they were supposed to be one of the better teams in the league. You look at their roster, they've got, we talked about this before, we talked about it last night, but they've got as much depth as anybody in the league, and I'm talking up there with Bay Area, with Gotham 5. I mean, they have so much talent, and they just couldn't figure it out early in the season, but we're finally seeing what this team should be.
Yes, we are, and as someone who also thought Yacht Club was going to be one of the better teams in the league, it's good to see it happening now, again, at such a crucial time with the race to 1 coming up. This is the time where you want to see your plan come together. Everything needs to mesh together now, because if it doesn't, you're looking like the OGs limping into the race to 1. And in my opinion, that is not a good sign for them, because of how good they've been all season. Seeing them limp now is not good.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Momentum within a basketball game and momentum within a season are both paramount.
Absolutely, incredibly important, and especially now, as both teams are struggling here to score over these last few possessions. But Garrett Hart, though, I'm going to take the tough layup, use the contact, and get the points anyway. 51-35, as Heartland calls another timeout here. 2:02 left in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break, come right back. Welcome back, everyone. 51-35, Yacht Club in the lead. And if you are just joining us and you want to be a part of what we're doing here behind the mic with me and Siege, hit us up on Discord. That is discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Run up over there, and we can get you all the information, all the things you need to get started doing what we do here behind the mic, or being a member of our writing team, writing articles for SimWorld Hoops as well. We'd love to have you a part.
Yeah, you know what they say, see the game, be the game, call the game, report the game, talk about the game. We can do it all. We can do it all.
We can do it all, man. We can do it all, and you can be a part of that as well. Love to have you. 155, and there's a backcourt violation. Gotta watch those feet when you're catching the ball. Didn't do it there. Yacht's gonna have it back.
You can't make those mental errors, especially in a game where they're starting to make some kind of comeback. They've been teetering on this 14, 16-point deficit for a while, really all quarter. Mental errors, you got to cut them out. You have to.
Yeah, definitely. And DeMarco Graham there, not the best decision he could have made. Had a clear look at the basket after the officials inside. Decided not to take the shot, but teammates bail him out. And they have the ball right back. Aaron gets knocked away, but recovered. Hart with it now. Doing a good job moving the ball. We said it earlier, Siege. Yacht Club's been doing a good job of that all game, and they get the layup, but unfortunately, not able to fall for them.
And Heartland's got to capitalize here. They're getting more stops. They're getting more stops more consistently, but we got to put it together on the other side because, it takes both sides of the ball to come back from a deficit.
Yeah, and it's only getting later in this one. Not getting any earlier, for sure. The lob is ripped out of the sky by DeMarco Graham and finished on the other end. Defense turning into offense. That's exactly how you draw it up.
That is exactly how Yacht Club draws it up. That's their whole game. That's their identity. We get the ball, we run, and you saw it again there. Filled a great lane right to the paint, rim running. That's perfect transition basketball.
Absolutely. Lorenzo Bryant, though, quick move to the hoop. Finishing with the silky finger roll. A little bit of old school in his game at times, Lorenzo Bryant. 53-37. Go ahead.
Old school pretty good. Old school's nice. Yeah. I like a good old school player. He's got grit. I know he's working, and I think next year we're going to see, when he gets the whole offseason to work on it, we're going to see him really take off and improve on that offensive end as well.
Yeah, the fruits of his labor will be rewarded, I imagine, for sure. Final shot of the third is no good. Yacht Club commanding lead taking the boat and riding this thing on out of here. 55-37. Game not over yet, though, folks. There's a whole fourth quarter to play. Come back and see how it ends. Welcome back, everyone. Final quarter in this one. Yacht Club up, but how long can they stay there? Siege, we'll find out as the fourth quarter is set to begin. I know we spoke about it earlier in the game, and now the fourth quarter is here. All those adjustments are definitely going to come into play. Heartland has a lot of changes that could be made to try to get this one back under control. Where do you think they have to start in the fourth quarter?
They got to figure out what's working for them on offense, and they got to keep going to it. There in that third quarter, they were able to get a lot more consistent defense. I mean, Yacht Club, after scoring 41 in the first half, put up 14 in the third. They got a lot of stops, Zombie Stars did, but they weren't always able to convert that into points, which right now is what they need. So they need to identify what's working for them on offense, and they need to go back to it.
And Brian Webb just ran right by everybody.
That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work every time, right? Looking like Dominic Bianco on the other end. And Bianco has had a quiet game. Not the game he had last night, but it's been Tamir Johnson and Adam Max doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Yacht Club here in this one.
Ooh, good dish.
And yeah, really good, but unfortunately not able to finish there on the offensive end. The Yacht Club back on the offensive side with it here. Laster going inside. Layup falls. It seems like every time it looks like Heartland is starting a run or on the cusp of one, Yacht Club says no.
They really have been. I think that speaks volumes. I think that's a good thing for Yacht Club because they were stifled a little bit. They weren't, firing quite like they were in the first half. What that means is Heartland kind of took back a little bit of momentum. The Yacht Club was able to not give up, not kind of say, all right, well, we got a big enough lead, whatever. They stayed strong, and they're back at a 20-point lead. That's something that was missing for them in the beginning parts of the season, was kind of that consistency throughout a game. And we talked about it earlier. How do you keep your foot on the gas? How do you make sure that you don't let up, things like that? Sometimes the other team's going to go on a little bit of a run. But you just got to keep that foot on the gas, and they've done it tonight.
Yeah, we saw on the opposite end here for Yacht Club, double team came and it didn't matter. It would react quick enough and put it up and in. We got some subs here. I think both teams are making some changes.
Ooh.
Good move here, trying to find some space.
Good ball movement.
Yeah, good ball movement here. Shot clock down to about 7 seconds here. Got to get a shot quickly. Maybe an alley-oop attempt there, but whatever it was, it didn't work. As Ordway in the corner for three is good.
All right. Okay. Just a few more of those, and we might have a game here.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But Dominic Bianco on the other end,
Yeah. Never mind.
yep, he says no, 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 not just yet. No, we're not gonna make this one. Not gonna give it to you guys that easily.
And he's had a relatively quiet game, especially coming off what he did last night. But it has not seemed to matter.
Has not at all. Ren Losi with a pretty mid-range jumper. I really like his game and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I love Ren Losi's game. He's someone I do wish at times this season they'd found a way to kind of play more through him because he's a great facilitator.
Especially for being a kid of his size, to have that ability to facilitate, that's only just going to serve you well at the next level, whether you decide to play basketball going forward, because that opens up so many more routes for you to go. Tough shot there from Brian Webb, senior, getting things going here. Not been the game that these upperclassmen seniors have wanted to go out on, I'm sure. But there's still time left to try to turn it around. It'd be difficult for them to do it, though.
It would have to start right here on this possession. We're gonna need a lot of consecutive stops. And yep,
my goodness!
Nope.
Are you kidding me, young man? What is your frustration? Tamir Johnson. And there goes Brian Webb, getting by Dominic Bianco with relative ease there.
Not quite as cool to watch, but the same 2 points nonetheless.
Yeah, look, we'll trade you a post for dunk for a layup, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're worth the same thing, but one's just a little more electrifying.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll leave you to guess which one it is, folks. It's a layup, right?
Oh my God!
Three ball. Tamir Johnson, man. This has been a coming out party for him tonight, Siege.
Absolutely, and we talk about the Yacht Club's depth, and I've said this before earlier on in the season, and now we're seeing it from Tamir these past few games, really. But they've got a lot of guys who could be number 2, number 3s, even number 1s on some other teams if given the opportunity. Tamir Johnson is one of those guys for me. He's incredibly talented. He's long. He's athletic. He can defend. He can score from all 3 levels. I mean, he is that guy.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses and is better heading into next season for them. And I feel like he along with Laster, they add so much talent here that can return next year and be much better than they are this year, as Laster gets himself on the board there. It's now 70-48. Got 2:05 left here in this one, and I think this one might be all over with the crying. It's down to 20 points though against. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, we've seen crazier things, but this would certainly be a crazy thing. What I will say though is even with this game being virtually over, Brian Webb is getting his. We've seen him get to the rack a couple of times in the last episode. Oh, what are you gonna do about that?
Right.
What are you gonna do about that? Nothing.
Yep. I think if anything, that's been one of the themes of the night for the Yacht Club. They've had the ability to make tough shots, whereas Heartland just either hasn't with consistency, or when they tried to get going, the club has had an answer every single time.
You really have. Was that Ren Losi with the slam?
Ren Losi. Yep.
I didn't really know he had that in like that.
Good to see it though. All the same, as he grabs the board there and brings it up himself, the big guy finds Webb in the corner. Good close out there to prevent the shot from going up. Mini up and good from Brian Webb. Streaking shooter is Brian Webb.
Why Webb said, "Look, if the game's over, it's my last game in a Heartland Zombie Stars uniform. I'm gonna get mine a little bit."
Yeah, let me get some more shots up, coach. Adam Maxson able to finish there. On the other end for Yacht Club. And once again, after this game, we are going to have the post up, the only one of the night, and then our final game will be Best Coast taking on Simro Asia Pacific. And I know it's late season, but who's your player of the game in this one?
I'm gonna give it to Tamir Johnson. I mean, I think he's been the best player on the floor tonight. He's looked really good. If I'm not mistaken, he's leading all scorers. He's had some poster dunks. He's hit some threes. Played great defense. Adam Max with an incredible little hook shot there. That was beautiful. But I'm gonna give it to Tamir Johnson.
It's a good pick. I like that pick, Siege, and I'll have to agree with you there. Ordway fires a three. It's no good. Yacht Club's going to take the last 5 seconds away in this one.
No, they're not.
As a backcourt violation is going to give them the ball. Give Heartland the ball right back, and frustration there from Bianco. Surprised he didn't get hit with a tech for that, but game's over. So at this point, no need to do anything like that, of course. But there's the final here, 74-56. Yacht Club in absolutely dominant win. We're going to take a break. Post up coming up, and then after that, it'll be Best Coast Ballers taking on SimWorld Asia Pacific. Don't go anywhere, folks. Post up right around the corner.
And a yacht party it was indeed tonight, and I am so glad that I was invited to the party myself, Maestro, because I'd have to say the Yacht Club put on a show in this one with the victory, and we've got everything that you need to know about what's going on in the sim world. We are back with the post up, getting straight into it, Maestro. How you doing today, my brother? How we doing?
I'm doing all right, fam. I was just celebrating the day that, when I was tied up on that Russian sub, you came down there and got me to safety, and just, you just said, you told me,
Yeah,
you're safe. And I just remember that, and I just want to say thank you, brother.
that was a very tough day for, I would say, both of us, and I'm just glad that you're here. I'm just glad that you're okay, and that's yourself, because you mean a lot to me, man. You really do. Like, you genuinely mean a lot to me, of course. But we got to talk about it. What happened? Yacht Club. I mean, they put on a show, and after what we seen the other day with them, after what we just seen with them, the way that they came and bounced back, and this one is huge, Maestro. Let me know about it.
Absolutely. So, okay, I'm just going to ask the whole universe this question just because I feel like I can right now. How many teams are there in SimWorld? How many teams? Just a round number. All right. Anybody?
Maybe about like 30, 32, 31, somewhere
there you go.
there.
32 teams. And if you are 31st in scoring, but you manage to be third in offensive rebounds, there is a disconnect in your game that showed up all season long. I've written about it. I've potted about it, or casted about it. Yeah, and look, I need to get me hip because I'm old. But I watched the team tonight. That kept getting offensive rebounds like they've done all year, and those offensive rebounds turned into no points. You can't live that way. That's like wanting to live on a freeway in a sleeping bag that's black. You eventually, when you go and lay down to the bed at night, you're not going to get up because a truck is going to run you over. And zombie, I mean, just, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the reality of, if you're that good at offensive rebounding, we need to find out why those offensive rebounds are not turning into points.
Right.
And on the other side of it,
you know what? I was just about to mention the same thing. I just felt like the Yacht Club they dominated in every aspect. I mean, the bench came and produced well for them. They were rebounding. Their second points, their ability to get points in the paint. And let's talk about for a second Tamir Johnson and that ferocious dunk that he had. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think there was plenty of times you could have said there was a nail in the coffin, but I mean, that one right there. I mean, he had 15
That
points
was
tonight. We didn't see much from Bianca, but he had a big night tonight, 15 tonight from him. And that dunk
Mhm.
basically was like, yeah, that's the staple in the papers right there.
With all due respect, that wasn't a nail in the coffin. That was a stake, a wooden stake through Dracula's heart. It is
Ah,
there are very there are very few times in games when a moment happens and you see the soul leave the other team. That was one of those, right?
yeah,
It's
it
like
was a complete deflate, like
yeah, exactly,
I've never seen
exactly.
a team deflate so much after that one play. It just, yep, it
It,
gonna
it,
head back
it,
to
it,
the bus.
look,
It's time to go home because it's like I don't know what to do at that point. You know what I mean? But Yacht Club, great game tonight. Honestly, great game tonight
absolutely,
all
absolutely.
around.
And you know what? Their game is coming together, like you said last night, like we noticed yesterday. The game is coming together at a good
Uh,
time, and it's coming together in a meaningful way with intention, with focus, with purpose. They normally score 71 points in a game. The night they scored 74. The Zombies normally score 63. They managed to scrape up 56, which is almost Siege's third favorite number because he didn't get to 69. But anyway, um, the, the Yacht Club, don't sleep on TYC, baby.
don't
Don't do it.
sleep on them. The Yacht Party was in full effect tonight, but there were some other games that were happening across the sim world. So look, let's get straight into it. There was the game. I believe this game wasn't up live last night, but Southeast Select in a dominating win, to say the least, 92
Yeah.
to 70. I mean, you scoring 20 points, almost 30 in a quarter, but 20 points each quarter. It's hard to stop a team like that. And when you look at these numbers, it's just this is what Southeast Selects do. I mean, Trey Turner just
Yeah.
22 points in that game. He shot 6 for 8 from the 3-point line, 75%. That's for a high schooler to shoot 75% from the line, taking ample amount of 3-pointers. That's big. Kadarius Stack 8 and 9. I mean, Gabe Pope 15. 7 assists, Terrell Pearson 15, Keandre Baldridge had 12, and Gulf Coast just didn't have an answer for it at all. They just didn't.
Well, they did have. No. Okay, we got to be completely fair about this, LOD.
Yeah.
All right, brother, we got to be complete. Okay, Gulf Coast had an answer. It wasn't the right answer.
There we go. I was waiting for it.
It was like Southeast Select had 4 players in double digits, but those double digits was like you call it 12, 15, 15, and 22. Gulf Coast had 4 players in double digits, but those double digits were 10, 11, 12, and 13. That's
They
a
just
slight.
counted up. They just
Yeah.
counted up.
It's-
They just counted up.
It's like, okay, I have mines, but you got yours and yours hit the floor. So it's like, I'm just going to walk away at that point. I'm not bringing what I think I can bring or what I need to bring. And that's exactly what we saw happen right with that game. And listen, I made no secret from my very first article I wrote when they made the mistake of bringing me on in SimWorld Hoops was about Gulf Coast lockdown. That they have been my if I could have got a jersey at the start of the season, it would have been a Gulf Coast lockdown jersey. And I still would take a Gulf Coast lockdown jersey. They have one of my favorite players on the team in De'Aaron Cruz that I hate to say it, I feel like my man kind of ran out of gas because he had nothing around him. But the reality of it is that team just never came together. As much as they fought, they just never came together. And tonight's game was just proof of that.
Right.
When you at this point, you have if you have nothing else to do, and Lord, and oh please forgive me. I hope my mama don't hear this because she's gonna definitely go upside my head with a skillet. At this point, if you're that far out, this is your last game, everybody should be chucking.
Right.
You should be chucking. If the ball goes out of bounds and I'm sitting on the bench, I'm just gonna flee it up to the rim.
Just go for
whatever. Yeah, why not? I mean, what's gonna go wrong now? What's gonna go wrong now? And I hated to see that for Gulf Coast. I really like that team. I really like a lot of players in that team. I just hate to see that happen that way.
Right. And I feel like one of the main things about it, when you look at it, is that, and this will be my last point for this game at least. You look at Gulf Coast, 44.8% from the field, 42%,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
we look at Southeast Select, almost 58% from the field, almost 67% from three. And I feel like that was a difference, right? Because like you said,
Absolutely.
Gulf Coast had an answer. They put up they put up their shots, they put up their points, but Select just seemed like they wanted it a little more. They had a little more oomph to them, and they just went out and got the job done. But
100%.
as far as our second game, the North had a great close one against Philadelphia Elite, but they came out with the victory 87-80 in that one. And Donovan Bird Culver, 26 points in that one. Marcus Leifert 13 in that one. Alex Rodriguez had 12 himself. And on the other side, Philadelphia had 4 people that scored in double digits. I mean, you had Quan Singleton with 15, Jermaine Wins with 15 and 10. Marcus Lofton had 8 and 11. Nas Hall had 8 and 3 and 5. The dirty right there. I'm saying. Orland Mock the third had 12, but they just couldn't come out on top. And I think honestly, when you really look down to it, they just hit more threes. Like the North just hit more threes.
Yeah. You have to close out on the three. Listen, I don't care if you coached in Alabama, that used to be a state in this country. I don't care if you coached in Canada or Canada, like they say in Alabama, because nobody can read, or if you coached in Serbia or Serbia, like they say in Alabama, because nobody knows how to spell.
Everybody
you have to close out on the three. You have to close out on the three. You have to close out on the three, period. Put your hand up and run past the person, and if you don't do that, that's what's going to happen.
I always like to give them the tap. You know me, I if I can't close out fully, I'll give them like the side tap, you know what I'm saying? Just throw them off a little bit. But when you look at it, Philadelphia shot 5 threes the entire game, only hit 1. The North shot 19 threes and knocked down 7 of them. And over the course of the game, that's big. And I feel like that's huge. You know what I mean? Over the course of the game.
What did I tell you? Last game. Listen, I'm in the locker room. I see a ball come up. I'm going to shoot from the door closed. I'm shooting from the locker room with the door closed because I figure, why not?
You know, that's just how it's got to go. But here we are with our next game coming up. We got Asia Pacific going up against Best Coast Ballerz. Best Coast Ballerz 20-10 on the season. Asia Pacific 15-15. Looking to go above 500 maybe in this one. So, Maestro, we say this all the time. You know what time it is. It's time to post it up and let's get to that 3 in the key, man. What you got for this game right here?
I'm not going to say LDO, like I just said LDO. I'm not going to say Evangelos Mullins. I'm not going to say Lene Newman. I'm not going to say that Best Coast Ballerz is a better rebounding team, a better team in steals, and they're second in points. I'm not going to say any of that. Here's what I'm going to say, though. I think I just said it. My bad. APAC, what do you do well? You rebound. You rebound. You rebound. Turn those rebounds into points. And I'm going to say that 3 times. So rinse and repeat 2 more times. That's what's going to give APAC a chance. They need to turn those rebounds into points. The Flying Reyes, JD, and Jacoby need to make it happen. But those rebounds, they have to turn them into points because it means you take possessions away from Best Coast. You keep the ball for yourself and turn those rebounds into points for you. That's what they got to do. If they don't do that, it's going to be a long night because everybody I did mention before is going to go off.
That's very much. I feel like that's a big thing. Turn those rebounds. You're a great rebounding team. Turn it into points. Maestro, my final question for you. And I thought about it at first. It was going to be go-to movies, right? But this one I like to call go-to movie munch. Okay. What I want to know, when you go to the movies and you there with your shorty or your girl or whoever it may be, whatever the case may be, what is the go-to snack, the go-to meal?
First move I got to do, I got to get me a hot dog on a soft bun, drop it down with some mustard, some relish. I gotta douse it down with that. So now that's to get me started. So I can get my shoulders up and get my groove on. I got to get the big bag of popcorn soaked with so much butter that the person who makes my popcorn has a cardiac event when he's giving it to me. And then the last thing, as the movie's getting hype and everything's getting go, boom, boom, pow, baby, just give me some candy, maybe some Mike and Ike's, maybe give me something a little sweet, and then I can watch the movie. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my quick rundown. If I'm out with the girl, right, and we going to get whatever type of food it is, right, it's gonna be about her. So watch how you play this, right, Pete? You get Skittles.
All right.
You want to show her that she's sweet, right?
No.
You get popcorn extra. You get popcorn extra butter to let her know that it could get sticky at any moment. You know what I'm saying, right? And you get yourself a nice slushy because you want it to go down all smooth. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got to do it. That's exactly how you got to do it. That's exactly how you got to do it.
I learned from you. I learned from you. See, you got game. See me? All I just said, I'm looking at her like you got to get your own.
No. Hey, and don't get it twisted. This is still all for me. But I'm showing her these things. But I'm eating it. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing it to her. But I'm eating it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's got to be. That's just how it's got to go. But we got some great Samoa basketball action coming up. Asia Pacific versus Best Coast Ballers. You don't want to miss out on that one. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this edition of the Post Up. And as always, make sure you get yourself some nice snacks when you're at the movies. All right. We'll catch y'all in the next Post Up. LOB here with Maestro. And as always, Maestro, go ahead and say it, man, because go ahead.
Be the game.
everybody, welcome to Tokyo Perfectual Gymnasium. We have a game tonight featuring West Coast on the road in their road black and yellow, taking on Asia Pacific in their home white. Nothing really on the line for either one of these teams tonight, but for APAC in particular, this is a little bit of a glamour game to close out the season in front of their home fans, having made Race to 1 playoffs. Behind the mic, you have my own good selfie lava, and I am joined by Sam, and we are underway, Best Coast in control. Sam, I mean, obviously, like I said, not really anything riding on tonight's outcome, but anything you're looking for in particular out of these two teams tonight? Obviously, APAC had that impressive last-second victory recently, 68-67 over Bay Area.
Well, yeah, I got to say, I'm most excited just to be here in the Perfectual Gymnasium. You know, this is my first chance to actually hop on the SimWorld jet, get over here to Japan, and get in here, and what a sight to see it is.
Yeah, this is a special location. The home squad gets on top first, opening bucket. Hugh Huber has it in the starting lineup tonight, and he drives. He, of course, was involved in a bit of an incident. A teammate, Evangelist Mullins, out there as well, really breaking it up. But, you know, I did see that reported today, and I kind of think, honestly, that's the sort of luxury teams have when you've already made the playoffs and have nothing to play for. And the small stuff can come out. I think that all changes next Saturday when the Race to 1 games start.
Well, listen, this best team, they're 20-10 right now, second seed in the Legend Conference. They don't have a lot to worry about. Really, at this point, it's all about just staying together, understanding where you are in the standings, and staying focused, getting locked in, and getting ready for that first round of Race to 1. So I don't think they got a whole lot of panic going on best about anything going on. I think we'll see when it comes playoff time, these guys are going to be ready.
Well, minute and a half into this one, and the home squad looks like they've kept that form that propelled them to that stunning upset. They're out 6-0, and hey, look, for West Coast, that's a long flight. First, you got to get from Santa Barbara, probably either to Los Angeles or San Francisco, and then it's a long way to Tokyo, Japan.
Hey, you're telling APAC, E, the last time these guys faced off was on March 8th, and APAC definitely felt the effects of the flight. They lost by 26 points, this West Coast team, and but I mean, tonight they're going to win by 26 in the first quarter, it looks like. Early 8-0 run here by APAC.
Maybe revenge-minded. They're getting it done on both ends of the court. Timeout from West Coast. They want to talk things over, and understandably so. The home team on top, 8-0, as we take a break. 5:39 to go in the first quarter when we return to SimWorld TV.
And welcome back to the Tokyo Perfectual Gymnasium here. We have a crazy game so far with APAC coming out in an 8-0 victory after these two teams' last matchup with APAC suffering a 26-point loss in that one. We're seeing some pretty interesting results here so far in the early first quarter.
Well, I do attribute it both to, APAC definitely riding that wave of having that big win and qualifying for the race to 1. That's the main thing. They're locked into the 8 seed, and look at Stephen George get down there and dump that through. He's a defensive best, but showing a little bit of offensive skill. Nice pass from Jin Song Deng to find him, but at the same time, a little bit of distractions, a little bit of lack of motivation maybe from Best Coast, and you can't take any game lightly, certainly not at this level, even when playoff spots are already decided. And APAC, they may just make number 2 seed a little bit sloppy if they don't get it together through the course of this game here.
Absolutely, and this game really so far has been kind of a complete inversion of the last game. We see Best Coast right now getting shut down on all of their inside attempts, and they're running the break better than Best Coast, which Best Coast, that's what they do best. They run the break, they throw lobs, they get crazy. And right now we see Stephen George again shutting down an inside attempt for APAC. I mean, right now they're just playing Best Coast's game better than Best Coast.
Well, 2.4 blocks per game, Stephen George. That's 10th best in all of SimWorld, and particularly his last couple games, he's been playing well. There's another one. I don't think he got a piece of that, but he certainly disrupted it, and he gets the rebound.
Like you said, Stephen George, 10th in SimWorld Hoops in blocks per game. This man is 6'11", 246, pure athleticism on the offensive and defensive end. He'll run to the rim, grab high-flying alley-oops, swap back shots. We've seen him doing that here early. Stephen George is a vital part of this APAC team and probably the engine that really drives these guys.
More than 4 minutes gone, halfway through this first quarter. Best Coast cannot buy a bucket. 10-0. APAC putting on a show for the home fans. Oh, that would have really put some icing on this first quarter cake there. But Stephen George just couldn't quite get it. Oh, but look at this end. Wow, what a deflection to deny Best.
Oh.
But look at that. Opening bucket. Lene Newman scoops it up and scores.
This is absurd. We see Akil Huber come flying out of nowhere on the end for the Best Coast Ballers, swats it away. APAC tries to get back at him with a lob on the other end. That gets swatted away. We got a block party out here in Japan.
This crowd, I mean, not a huge capacity here in Tokyo Prefectural, but every seat filled tonight, I believe. Couldn't connect there. West Coast looking to see if they can come back into it a little bit. And Mullins gives it up to Huber. He lost the ball there, but it ended up in Mullins' hands. Little 1-2 going on between Huber and Mullins this possession. Finally, shot clock running out here. LDO just forced to take a really tough turnaround, and that was a horrible possession. West Coast, they are just out of sync. Blame it on the flight, blame it on something, maybe blame it on the APAC defense. Maybe they're just a little bit
blame it on the alcohol, These guys, hopefully they're not indulging in the alcohol. These guys are a little too young for that. I had to get a little reference in there. But yeah, things definitely not going West Coast way right
there, by the way. I'll admit I never liked that song, but I hope you're doing well. Timeout on the court. Want to remind you, coming up, we got the playoffs. We got the race to 1 getting underway, and that is happening next Saturday, August 12th. Kicking it off, 1 o'clock Eastern. Teams to be determined because, I don't know who you're going to get. Who you're going to get behind the mic. It's going to be me and the maestro, so that should be fun. But we got a full day of hoops starting that day. 4 games, just rack them up. Scheduled times, 1 o'clock, 2:30, 4, and 5:30. All times Eastern. That's Saturday, August 12th. And these 16 teams down to 1. Anybody you think their end-of-season play is maybe making them reconsider their status as a race to 1 real contender? See anybody come on strong, or maybe anybody fading?
Man, for me, I gotta, I gotta say, I think the Bad Boys can actually make a little bit of a run in the race to 1. I kind of switched my stance. Last night I was kind of feeling a little iffy about it, but I thought about it a little more. And I think if all those guys are clicking on all cylinders, I think that team has enough to make at least a deep run into the tournament.
Nice move there. Shooting foul called on Great Khalid. Oh, no, I guess. No, that's. We'll send him to the line. That's Austin Ajavon. Not sure if they were calling that a regular or shooting foul for a second. Ajavon played for the LA Star last year in SimWorld's inaugural season. Decided to move up the coast. I have to say, if you've ever spent any time in Santa Barbara, you can understand why.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beaches, mountains in the background. Good. That basketball team, this season anyway, for sure, Best Coast, locked into that number 2 seed. Made a little bit of a rally here. Actually, particularly on defense, they've looked good past few possessions. And with this lead in half, it's now 10-5.
And one of my keys for the game for this APAC squad was not to force shots inside, but we see they're not having to force anything. I genuinely don't think Best Coast has showed up to play today. They might just be getting into the season game out of the way here.
Great Khalid out the other end, but a pretty play down there. Oh, there's Mullins with a strong drive, and Khalid has to foul him. That's 2 quick fouls on Great Khalid.
Yeah, he's got 2 here already.
6'6" forward out of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, averaging 4.6 points and 4 rebounds per contest. 17-year-old. But Evangelos Mullins, he doesn't really have a nickname that I'm aware of, but maybe the Peacemaker would be appropriate today.
There definitely could be a lot of nicknames for Evangelos Mullins. This guy's got one of the most unique looks we got here in SimWorld Hoops.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the kid. And then, I mean, look at his frame. Think about what he does. He's flying high. He's flying over the backboard on half the dunks he puts down. Evangelos Mullins, one of the most entertaining guys we got here in SimWorld Hoops.
You know, was actually a couple years ago considered to be a football recruit, you know, and has that kind of defensive line, defensive end, tight end kind of size and build. But I think he has a basketball future. UCLA,
I think quarterbacks
Cal.
everywhere. Quarterbacks everywhere thanking the basketball gods right now for making him such a good basketball player. Because we definitely don't want to see that guy rushing the end and taking your head off.
APAC still on top here. Oh, a nice defense. Ends up in the hands of Kai Newby. Oh, nice pass. Oh, but great defense. Like I said, you know, Best Coast has been sticking around in this first quarter so far because of their defense. It certainly hasn't come on offense, although there, tough shot, but it's it to go down. That's to the right, Johnson. Down. Almost a half a minute. Oh, foul call. Sky Buckner Williams picks that one up. And that is going to send APAC to the line. Victor Soto, he had a nice game and a big win on the road over Bay Area Breakers to qualify for the race to 1. Soto, a 6'5" big guard from Manila in the Philippines, averaging 9.3 points a game.
Yeah, Soto, he's one of the more skilled players, most skilled players really on this APAC team. Great playmaker, can get a shot, can make the shot. Victor Soto's a huge part of this APAC squad offensively.
Well, the big stars the other night, the big star was Jacoby Reyes. J.D. Reyes as well, major contributor. Haven't heard too much from the Reyes so far in this one, and maybe that's okay, as Asia Pacific 16-8. They've got Best Coast here in the double up position.
And it again on him, E, with the reference the second night in a row.
Hey, I'm going to teach these kids about the mix if it's the last thing I do.
I need you. I need a video of you on the SimWorld media feed hitting the double up.
Hey, what was I saying? Everybody need a nickname or a trademark, so you know, I'm working some stuff through.
As long as it's not some of that OF
trying
content.
some stuff out. What's that?
As long as it's not some of that OF content here.
Oh, of course. We'll get into that later during the promo, but look at that 3. Wow. What a way to end the quarter. Asia Pacific, you got the lead here. They've also developed a flair for the dramatic, hitting buzzer beaters. 9-point lead as we go to the break. Second quarter action when we return. Nice start for the home team. They lead 19-10. Doing it with defense, have held Best Coast to just 27% shooting in that first quarter. Best Coast hadn't tuned up their defense the last few minutes. They gotten really out of hand.
Oh, man.
Nice drive. Oh, loose ball foul, however, called. Great Khalid. So that's going the other way, but they're counting the bucket there. Interesting.
They will count that bucket, E. The ball's going to go the other way. But I think we saw there on the drive, Victor Soto blowing right past the defender. I mean, really, Best Coast has just come out sluggish and really have not showed up yet today.
Nice drive. Shot will not go down, but it is going to send Sky Buckner-Williams to the line. Sky Buckner-Williams getting more minutes ever since the dismissal of Mikey Williams earlier in the season, a 6-foot guard, averaging 4.5 points a game. And
I don't know if you saw that there. Victor Soto gave a little check there to Jazeel Wright-Johnson when they're lining up for the free throw. Maybe that'll be something that can maybe motivate these Best Coast guys a little bit. They need some motivation this game. They don't got much. They need something to play for. Maybe some fake controversy can get sparked up here and get them rolling.
We have a little in-game storyline happening here, Sam, and the great Khalid, that was his third foul he picked up a moment ago. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful if he wants to stick around in this one.
Yep, Khalid off the bench. He's one of the better hustle guys and energy guys all around for APAC. He can also come in the game and get buckets from time to time in that post area. So, great Khalid, good player for these guys. Early foul trouble here in this game.
Shot from Soto, rattled all over the rim, but wouldn't go down. Landon Quilton, starting the second half for Best Coast, takes a little step back, creates a little space for himself, and sinks it. Pretty heavy move from the 16-year-old. He's one of only 2 youngsters on this entire Best Coast squad.
And Landon Quilton, he loves to put that ball on the floor. We see him do it from time to time, a little too much on the offensive end, but there he gets the step back to go.
Ball bounced around, ended up in Howard Zoo's hands, and he laid it in. 1-point lead restored, and the shot won't go there for Best Coast. So far, unable to chip into this lead here. Early going, second quarter. Nice twist by Soto, but he couldn't get the left-handed layup to go in off glass. Once again, good stuff. Nice move from Buckner-Williams. He lays it in.
Man, we've seen some great basketball from Sky Buckner-Williams, SBW. He's been coming off the bench. He's been creating some offense for Best Coast in these last couple games. You love to see it.
He's down to 7. Soto going to work out there against Buckner-Williams. He's bigger, he's taller, he drives on him, but he can't get his shot down.
Shuts down Soto again on the drive. We've seen that a couple times here. Great way to run the break there by Best Coast. But we've seen a couple times here SBW shut down Soto on the drive. He's come in, he's creating offense, playing good defense. SBW bringing the energy tonight for Best Coast.
Well, that Hugo Fields bucket cuts the lead to 5, closest it's been in some time for Best Coast. Timeout called by Asia Pacific, which Jason Reyes wants to talk it over. And while he's talking it over with his guys, let me tell you what is coming up next on SimWorld TV. We are back on the air tomorrow night, Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Run DMV, Cascadia. Could be a good battle between those 2 squads. Cascadia, unfortunately, out of the playoff running. Run DMV at 19-11. They currently hold the 5th seed in the Legacy Conference. And they can actually move up to 4th with a little bit of cooperation from Beast of the East.
Andy, I wish we would get to see Arthur Lattimore in the Race to 1 tournament. That would have been so fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of big names on Cascadia, just not quite able to get into playoff position, but some young talent on that team. They should be back next year. It's Best Coast team, only 2 players 16 years old, mentioned. Landon Coilton being the notable one of them. Oh, tough drive there from Reyes, and he can't get his shot to go.
And we see APAC, though, they aren't able to get that shot to go on the drive, but what I like from them is the fact that we see their big setting screens all over the place. As soon as the ball is moved, there are screens, there is movement. Everyone's doing the best to get the ball to an open man.
3 on the way from LDO, and he drains it.
And there it is. That's what Best Coast needs. They need LDO back in this game, and they need him trying to create some offense.
Ace Darius Outlaw, 6'4" guard. And heavily recruited by Memphis and Tennessee. Oh, great inside position, but blew the layup. Wow. 2-point game now, too, right? East Coast take the lead if this shot goes down, and it does. Wow. What a turnaround here. It's punctuated by a 3 from Dre Ryder.
Dre for Trey Ryder. Best Coast is in the lead now after a terrible start. They've really turned things up here after the end of the first quarter, and we're seeing now, again, just like they did in these guys' first matchup, Best Coast is shutting these guys down in the paint.
As before the turn, can't get it to go, but George there with the rebound, looks to take care of himself, but his shot won't go. Yeah, this is an 11-point swing from 10-point lead. Well, I mean, Asia Pacific jumped out to a 10-0 lead. That was as much as it got to, but LDO just extended Best Coast to a 3-point advantage here. Another timeout called by Asia Pacific. 3:52 to go in the second quarter. Breaking the action. We're going to take a quick break, too, but don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back to SimWorld TV in Tokyo.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Best Coast completed a remarkable turnaround here in this second quarter. We're being held to 27% shooting at the end of that first frame. Now, to 45%, they're actually doing better than APAC is for the game at 43.
Yeah, we've seen things completely swing here. It's almost as if Best Coast was kind of toying with APAC, just kind of, playing around, going through the motions. Well, right there, we see a crazy and one there by Jacoby Reyes, but Best Coast really just been going through the motions up until this point, and we've seen them completely flip the script here on APAC.
Jacoby Reyes, the star in San Francisco, breaking the Bay Area Breakers. Here, he's going to get himself to the line for a 3-point play. 6'4" out of Cebu in the Philippines, averaging 14.2 points per game. And he, actually both these teams are very sort of what we traditionally call senior-lated, with upperclassmen, 17-year-olds. But APAC does have 3 guys coming back, and there are 3 starters in Jacoby Reyes, Steven George, and Jin Song Deng. So that's going to be a nice core for them to build around, not to mention coming off the strength of a playoff position and how that might help you recruiting for next season, too.
Well, I think one thing that Jacoby Reyes needs to really get working on in the offseason is just his overall consistency on the offensive end, whether it's take better shots or just get your form down a little better. He's shooting 36% from the field for APAC this year, which we see him great take right there, but 36%, that means some nights you're really hurting your team out there, not so much helping.
He's found a way to get it done. I will agree. The stat line jumps out at you with the field goal percentage, but he's just shown you on these last 2 possessions what he can do. And there actually plays some nice defense coming on late to put off Mysterious Outlaw. Outlaw just 2 for 7 from the field tonight, not doing great. Look, once again, Reyes tries to take it inside, but this time, big Evangelos Mullins says no, no, no. And they're saying it was last touched by Asia Pacific going the other way.
What? I mean,
I'm not sure
right
how
now
that's
I am
possible.
completely just mind blown right now. I mean, we see conspiracy unfolding right in front of our eyes here. What's going on? How is that any way Besco's ball?
I'm not sure. And somehow, LDO able to score over Jacoby there. Jacoby played really nice defense. With a windmill shot up and in off glass. And yeah, this crowd and the bench was relatively polite about that call, but I think some protesting and some video replay might be due on that one. Kai Newby tries the jumper and nails it. Long distance shot hit by Newby, 17-year-old 6'5" wing out of Seoul, South Korea.
And he is the best shot creator here for APAC. 13.5 points a game for Newby. We see him, he really is, like I said, the best shot creator. We see him, oh my God, LDO is finally starting to turn things up here in the second quarter. But
shot creating shots for yourself. LDO has put on a show here in Tokyo.
Oh, and another steal. We've seen that a lot here tonight for APAC. APAC's turned the ball over a lot here against Best Coast. Even though, you know, they were playing well earlier, there were still a lot of turnovers, and now they can't get anything going inside Evangelos Mullins. They are contesting everything right now.
Jinsong Dang had great position, but Mullins, strong D, and the attack won't go, however. And this time, J.D. Reyes able to corral the rebound.
What a
his
crossover.
defender. Mullins is there, however, but the spin. Oh, look at Steven George. Wow. What a play by the big fella.
And that's what I love when I watch APAC basketball. Steven George using that athleticism, that strong body to get up there, get the rebound, put back tip in, changing the game one play at a time.
A nice dish.
Wow.
Isn't there from Newman, however. He gives it back to LBO. Switches on to Dang. Tries an inside shot. Won't go. We're down to the final 10 seconds of the first half. Could be one possession and done here for APAC. And Steven George has it. Gives it up. It's going to be Jacoby. Shot won't go. That's going to do it. We're all locked up at halftime at 32. Nice rally from the road team. They got it together in that second quarter. Overcame a 9-point first quarter deficit to come back. And, boy, Lace Darius Outlaw. Is he your player of the year? I think he's probably the player of the game so far with what he did in that second frame.
I mean, I think right now, absolutely, Darius Outlaw is a top contender in the POTG conversation. But here tonight, I mean, we've seen this Best Coast team. They came out, they were sloppy, not really hustling, not playing hard, but then they flipped the script on APAC. And ever since, they have been balling on these guys from the early second quarter on. So, yeah, APAC's got a game on their hands now. It looked like they might have been running away with this one for a little bit, but things are starting to get a little hectic here.
APAC jumped out to a 10-0 lead. They held Best Coast scoreless for well more than 4 minutes in that first half, but tied up now and will be when we return after these messages. Second half coming up next. all tied up in Tokyo. Been a good one so far here at Tokyo Prefectural Stadium. Home team has the ball, and it's all even. Reyes is out there, along with Steven George. He had a big first half, 8 rebounds already. Look at that, strong drive. That's JD Reyes. 6'6".
Strong drive there from JD Reyes. We see Akil Hubert try to step over, take the charge, make the good play, but the refs were not giving it to him.
Steven George, 9 rebounds now for the big fella. It's a few more buckets. He had a nice tip in. Points so far for him, and there's a foul on Steven George. Just his first. They'll send the ball the other way, however. And for Best Coast, leading scorer in the game so far, has the ball in his hands right now. Darius Outlaw has 9 points. He scored all of them in that second quarter explosion, and he takes the step back here. Can't get it to go.
Yeah, we see him being way more aggressive here since that first quarter. Like you said, 9 in the second quarter, 4 baskets in that one. It looks like he's coming out here in the third, ready to do a lot of the same.
Kobe couldn't get that one to fall. Evangelos Mullins, fairly quiet day for him so far. He's got the ball out on the perimeter right now. Is it up to LDO? Shot on the way from Dre Ryder.
Wow.
Dre nails it. Wow. Great shot there from Dre.
That's his second three-pointer of the night. Dre Ryder. He's came in and he's given Best Coast the shooting they've needed off the bench.
6'8", 195-pounder is just 16 years old. A nice move with Kobe. And nice finish, too.
Wow, he has really taken advantage. He's got a little bit of a quickness advantage right now. Getting a lot of switches where he's getting some bigger guys on him. He's taking advantage, crossing them up there at the top of the key, taking it in, easy, soft floater.
Angelos thought about that three, thought about it a couple times, stepped around his man instead and gets the bucket. Great move from Evangelos Mullins.
And Evangelos Mullins putting the ball on the floor there. We don't see him do that a whole lot. Puts the ball on the floor there, gets the bucket. That's a great bucket there by Evangelos Mullins.
They're going to be salivating in Southern California. We can bring him to UCLA, also being recruited by Cal. Evangelos Mullins. Here goes LDO. Quiet night from his standards, LDO, in spite of that big second quarter. But here he's going to get into double digits. 11 points now for Lace Darius. Averages 22 a game.
You've got to box out the guard, Z. You can't let a guard the size of Lace Darius Outlaw be getting rebounds. You had 3 guys surrounding him. No one's boxing out. That was one of my keys tonight for APAC, is they got to box out. That's what hurt him in the first matchup against these guys. They got to make sure they're watching and they're boxing out.
3-pointer, Jacoby Reyes. Star in the win. Over Bay Area. Looking to repeat that feat perhaps tonight, having a nice game, and puts his team up by 2. 4:53 to go, third quarter. I want to remind everybody that we want you to join us at SimWorld, take part in all the action, and the way you do that is to get with us on Discord. It's discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. That is where you will get all of the chat, all of the controversy, all the news drops there. You get all your podcasts. You get me with Big Bob every weekend on Around the Table, talking about, well, whatever we want to talk about, as Big Bob says. Lots going on there. Come be part of our community. It's a pretty good bunch of people. And once again, the way to get there, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. But back here in Japan, one of the more unique venues you're going to find, and it is definitely a pretty place to play some basketball. Good game is unfolding here. 2-point lead for Asia Pacific. West Coast set to inbound.
Like you said, E, this place is a great venue to watch some basketball. You got the great stage there on this side of the court. Got some beautiful artwork surrounding us. Such a pleasing view to the eye.
Nice pass inside from Mullins. He's got Hubert down there. Takes it up, but can't get it to go. Great defense from Reyes, JD Reyes. Gets it to Steven George down low, gives it back up, little 1-2 between them, and nice finish. JD says, hey, I'm not the only. There's another Reyes out here to pay attention to, folks. Take a look at me, 17-year-old, averaging 8.8 points a game, JD.
Yeah, these Reyes kids, they can score, can't they?
Well, Coach Reyes loves them as well. There's no connection, familial. But, on the court, they definitely have some chemistry. Oh, and a wide open Jacoby. Can't quite get that three to go.
And that's been the story, like I said, for Jacoby all season. Efficiency, not hitting the open shots, makes the crazy play. Oh, tough turnover there for Best Coast. But a lot of times Jacoby will make the sensational play, but will blow the easy one. So really, it's just a matter of him staying focused and putting in that work in the offseason. And oh my God, we see him take a sensational shot there, and $1 million move, 2 penny catch.
Oh boy, yeah, that was deep and probably a little advised there from the young man. Mullins has it down low. Can't get anything going there with it though. Shot clock down to 5 on this possession. Corner 3 won't go either. Rebound tipped around, but it ends up in the hands of great Khalid. He's back out there with 3 fouls.
We see LDO get doubled on the perimeter there. There was a guy open to his left. He wasn't looking and missed him.
Nice move from Newby, but he can't get that free throw line jumper to go. LDO has a bigger, slower defender on him, trying to go to work, ends up tossing it out to Fields for an open 3, but that is a mile short. Oh, dang. Once again, can't get it to go, however, and the team's in a little bit of a scoreless drought. Mullins trying to shake his squad out of it and can't, and their second chances coming easily for either squad.
These guys are going back and forth right now. No one's getting a bucket. No one's even getting close to getting a bucket. I mean, it's been Brick City in here. This place is made of wood, but you wouldn't be able to tell by the way these teams are playing in here. I mean, it's just been brick after brick right now.
We have said throughout tonight's broadcast that Best Coast is here off of a long flight. It's an adjustment as well, and sometimes they just look a little out of sorts, and you see it right there. APAC not as many excuses and some decent execution there. And finally, we're back in the scoring column. Jacoby Reyes puts it up, puts it in.
I got to give props to great Khalid there on the fast break. Running the break as the big man, dishing it to the guard for the leg. Great play, great Khalid.
Oh, great Khalid. Mentioned he's out of Malaysia. There's definitely a variety of national flavors on this APAC squad, centered here in Tokyo, of course, but no Japanese native players on this year's APAC. We have 2 players from China, including Jinsong Dang, the starting forward, coming back next year, as a 16-year-old. A couple players from South Korea as well, in Sunjin Park and Kai Nui, and a strong Filipino flavor to the season's successful APAC, coached by Jason Reyes, Steven George, JD Reyes, Jacoby Reyes, and Victor Soto, all hailing from the Philippines.
Yeah, this APAC squad really is like the melting pot of the Eastern Hemisphere here. I mean, these guys got everyone but a Japanese player, which they're based right here, playing in the Tokyo Prefectural Gymnasium. That's wild to think about, the fact that they really don't. They don't have any Japan natives on their squad.
Well, as many Filipino players are on the squad, I have to mention too that the Philippines is a basketball-loving country. The professional league there is a pretty high standard by international rankings. And obviously, the players they've got out here on the court, they've done enough all season long. They deserve. They didn't back into this eighth place spot for the race to 1. They went out there. They fought for it. They deserved it. They only wrapped it up with that miracle win over Bay Area. Here they're threatening to knock off another one of the top teams. LDO drives inside, but once again, he can't get it to go. And oh boy.
Stepped right out of bounds.
I guess they're saying, yeah, that Deng had it, but he stepped out of bounds with it, so a second chance for West Coast. They have just looked out of sorts tonight. LDO, no exception. Zero Wright Johnson wants to take it. Can't get anything going. Wright Johnson coming in off the bench. He's a 6'4" wing out of Long Beach, California.
We've not seen either team get a good look here offensively, and I don't know how many minutes. No one's really been getting any good looks at the basket from their offensive sets. These teams both run the break well. Maybe we'll see them try to get on the break a little more here.
Yeah, again, that wasn't really coming off any kind of set play or good action, but Sunjin Park, South Korea, as I mentioned a moment ago, found himself in a little space. But I can make this jumper. Sticks it.
Yep, better playmaker, really, Sunjin Park, but hits that contested jumper there. We see him getting a steal here on LDO, taking it coast to coast. That's going to be blocked by LDO.
Recovery by Outlaw. Great recovery. Owens has his shot blocked out on the other end. 30 seconds to go now in this quarter. APAC up by 6.
This is ridiculous. No one's finding a shot anywhere on this floor right now.
Park trying to work around Outlaw. Couldn't get that one down, however. Should be the final possession of the quarter. Oh, but look at that instead. Ajavan playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Got down court fast. Gets himself up. Easy move.
That's what I've been waiting to see from Best Coast this whole game. We love watching Best Coast for their high-flying antics. And here we see it at the end of the quarter. Flying high, throwing it down, Austin Ajavan.
4-point lead for the home team as we head into the fourth quarter. A defensive battle continues when we return to SimWorld TV.
We were at the party last night. Did you see Tom and Jen? We're so cute together. We're even wearing matching sneakers. Sorry.
It's no problem.
漂亮的真的太帅了，气味很可爱哎。哎呀，你不要这样子啦，干嘛呢你？
那你让他看你内裤吧。
哼，也许啊。
真的吗？
Close game here. Defensive battle. APAC shooting 42%. Best Coast just 39. particularly from West Coast, who are so prolific offensively, Sam. I'm surprised what we're seeing so far here tonight.
I mean, Best Coast and Asia Pacific, two very up-tempo teams. Best Coast specifically, what a shot there from Jazeel Wright-Johnson on the step back. But yeah, Best Coast, one of the most up-tempo teams we have here in Cineworld Hoops. They average about 75 a game as a team, and here we see entering the fourth quarter at a score of 43. These guys got some work to do here in the fourth if they want to get back on track.
LDO off track. He is now 5 for 14. Couldn't hit that corner three there. Ends up in the hands of Great Khalid. Gives it up over to Park. Lead open for three, but he is well short, way short.
And for LDO, I think you got to credit Asia Pacific's perimeter defense so far. These guys have not let him get any good looks, whether it be jet lag or whatever the case. LDO is just not able to get by these guards for APAC right now.
Reyes and Soto back out there for APAC, but they can't prevent Lene Newman from getting an easy bucket, tying things up. Nice pass from Akil Huber. Victor Soto back out on the court, looking to go to work. He's going to take it all himself. Kind of gets bailed out with a foul there, to be honest. We'll get to the line.
I think that ref. I think these refs are. I don't know what they're indulging in before the game here tonight. I mean, we saw a questionable block call go out of bounds the other way for Best Coast here earlier. Some oddball calls here, especially on this end of the floor. For this game here tonight.
You see Aaron Murray, coach of Best Coast, animated there. He did not care for that call. He's second year in charge of this squad. Soto reestablishes the lead. There you see Rui Hachimura up on the wall beyond that basket there.
They love him here in Japan.
What you got to.
Yep.
Solid player as well. Well, a lot of these kids out here, these 20 kids playing for these teams, have aspirations to be on that level. There's one who is certainly one of them. Ace Darius Outlaw having trouble from the field. Says, all right, I'll get myself to the line.
Man, we are just playing patty cake out here right now, E. I mean, every little nick and knack is being called right now in a close game. These teams are going to have to hit free throws here down the stretch if they want to pull this one out.
That's a tough way to call a game, too, and something as defensive and tight as this thing has been. Do you think that's just generally widespread? That's not just simply star treatment there for LDO?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff here tonight, all around with the calls from the refs. Maybe it's been a long night for them too. Who knows? Maybe they don't want to be here. They know this game doesn't mean a whole lot for either of these squads. They're just trying to get a paycheck. Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Outlaw gets both. Tied up once again. Park has it. He's operating in the backcourt now with Kobe Reyes. Great Khalid. Gives it back up to Reyes, who drives, tries to score over Huber and can't get it to drop.
Well, we've seen Akil Huber. I mean, he's known for this, but we've seen him play some great defense on the perimeter and a little bit in the post today. I've seen him shut down Stephen George a couple times down there. So Akil Huber playing some great defense here for. Man, as I say that,
I know he got shed by Park there.
St. John Park, but they couldn't come up with anything. And this right now is just an absolute turnover fest here. Nobody's scoring. Nobody's getting shots. They're just handing the ball back and forth. They're taking wild shots like that. And no one's getting anything to go.
On a court.
Wow. This is pure chaos, dude.
This possession settling down a little bit. Huber gets it into the hands of Outlaw. 5 seconds now on the shot clock. I think Aaron Murray just wanted to settle things down. Gave the instructions there. Oh, look at that. Once again, can't connect, but the rebound did with authority. I knew it.
Lene Newman, one-step penultimate, grabs the ball, pumps it, and throws it down the reverse jam off the putback. That is an insane play. That has got to be a SimWorld top 10 nominee.
Oh, nice drive Soto. Finds himself alone underneath and evens things up once again.
I mean, I thought we were about to see Lene Newman send that one off the glass there. Man, I am so hyped after that last play. Oh, my goodness. Stephen George does it to Lene Newman.
Settle down, Lene, Steven says. Oh, and once again, the outside shot definitely not cooking tonight. Kobe Reyes, as you talked about, he's, not an efficient shooter, isn't tonight, hasn't been over the course of the season. Somehow, just critical to his team, however, is, in truth, at least Darius Outlaw's kind of answering him this shot from this shot. Tie game.
Yeah, these two are going at it right now, chucking up some crazy stuff. Kind of wonder if there's a little bit of showmanship going on. Guys trying to put on a show for these fans. They came out here to see some slightly meaningless basketball. Maybe they're trying to just put on a show for these guys and give them some entertainment.
Looks like Jacoby picked up something from LDO's bag of tricks. Gets himself in position to pick up a foul, go to the line. Get some easy points with the clock stopped.
Man, what about that dunk we saw from Lene Newman? I can't get over it, eh? Oh.
Lene Newman, 6'8", 220-pounder. Oregon and Oregon State with heavily in on the Oregon native. No teams or college teams are coming after these Asia-Pacific stars, too. Jacoby Reyes, Rutgers, UCLA. It's actually possible that Jacoby Reyes could join Evangelos Mullins if they were both end up being Bruins. They're both hold offers from Pac-12 powerhouse.
And for Jacoby Reyes, again, it's going to be for him, his success on the next levels. Oh, what a take there by LDO.
That's LDO scoring over Reyes right there, too.
Yep, but for Reyes, his thing is he's got to be more consistent from the field, take better, more high-quality shots. We've seen him taking step-back threes from almost 3 feet beyond the line here. And, we play on the pro line here in Similar Hoop, prepping these guys for the pro level. We're seeing him taking crazy step-back jumpers. He's not getting any of them to go.
Particularly Apex struggling from deep. Best Coast just not shooting that many from deep, in truth. And once again, Lene Newman is there to clean up the mess.
Lene Newman hasn't really been around much tonight, but we've seen him. He had a dunk that took away my breath completely earlier, and we see him there cleaning up the glass and getting it done.
Oh. What a move from Jacoby. Completely got around Outlaw right there. Earned it.
I wonder if Jacoby Reyes maybe played a lot of playground ball growing up. He's got all the moves, he's got all the skills when it comes to creating a shot, making the play. Just isn't always so efficient, but man, does he have the skill.
He and LDO are going right at each other, too. Picked up a screen there. LDO pulled off of it, but couldn't get the bucket to fall. And here they are, matched up once again on this end. Keep your eye on that confrontation. It's JD. Oh, well, I was watching Jacoby. Maybe everyone else was, too. JD goes in and throws it down with authority. Under 2 minutes to go and a 2-point lead for APAC. Oh, my.
Back and forth right now, an absolute dumb contest. We see JD Reyes on one end throwing down the Zion level tomahawk, and then Lene Newman coming back down, doing it once again.
JD once again tries to lay it up, but can't get it going this time. It ends up in Huber's hands, and he is down the court quickly, but JD squats his shot away.
Oh, this is actually turning out to be an insane game, E. These guys might not be getting shots to go, but we got a crazy block party happening here late. It's tied at 57. There's only a minute 34 left. This game is getting crazy. The crowd's getting into it. I'm excited.
94 seconds. Newman swings it over to LDO. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. LDO has Jacoby on him. Can't get his shot to go. Tough night And, oh, look at Kai Newby, the excellent body control underneath the rim. Gets that to go down. 2-point lead for his team.
Acrobatic finish there from Kai Newby.
LDO not deterred by his poor shooting line so far, but once again cannot score. And that one, in spite of the skin-burning efforts of Evangelos Mullins. I feel that tomorrow.
I thought that it went off APAC there. I thought that was going to be best coast ball.
I did too. I thought we would stand down there, but we're not. We're under a minute to go, and it's APAC's ball.
Wow, that's a rough one here late in the game. This important of a time.
AD's got Uber on him. He's trying to go to work. Gets a shot off. Won't go. Gets his own offensive rebound, but has that blocked by Mullins. He just kind of took it out of his hands on the putback attempt. Like Mullins shakes free of Dang, gives it up to Newman, gives it out to LDO, and he gets it to go.
Wow! LDO, 2 defenders in his face, knocks it down as if they were nowhere inside.
Undeterred by his unflattering line, the captain takes charge. Lace Darius Outlaw, the beast of Bakersfield, the number 2 scorer in all of Sim World, has tied things up with 34 seconds here in Tokyo. All tied up. Lace Darius Outlaw and Jacoby Reyes are a combined 13 for 41. I kind of feel like whichever team wins, they're the MVP, and they're probably going to hit the winning shot. We got 34.4 to find out, at least in regulation. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we definitely got a close one here. He has a nail-biter in here. This game doesn't mean much, but it is tight, and it is gut-wrenching.
Well, J.D. Reyes, he had the tomahawk dunk. Sets things up. Tries to get inside on Mullins. Gets the shot up over him, but can't get it to go down. About a 1 second difference between game shot and shot clock. Let's see if West Coast wants to use that. Or just attack here. But we threw it away. It ends up in Kai Newby's hands. Newby up ahead, and look at that. We found J.D. Wow. 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 Look at this crowd, too. On their feet, excited about that. Their hometown boys have a 2-point lead with 10.8 seconds to go. What a sequence.
I am almost speechless right now, E. What do we just see? Newby with the steal on the defensive end, comes down, throws up a lob to J.D. Reyes. He gets his head above the entire rim, throws it down, gives APAC that 2-point lead with 10.8 seconds left.
West Coast was trying to get into Lace Darius Outlaw's hands, but Newby with the interception. Play of the game as things stand right now, but almost 11 seconds left on the clock for West Coast to dial up a game-tying or game-winning bucket. You have to know that LDO is your number 1 option. With the fact that everybody in this building, including the other players and coach, know that, maybe if you're Coach Aaron Murray, you're drawing up something here for a second option if they do clamp down on him.
Yeah, I mean, we see LDO take some crazy shots, and I'm sure he's going to be the guy they're trying to get the ball to here. But anything could happen here tonight. I mean, this one's been absolutely wild. Anything and everything has gone on. Let's see it. Let's see what happens.
Asia Pacific has had a flair for the dramatic. Recent SimWorld action. Let's see what happens here. The timeout means West Coast gets to set up down on this end of the court. It's going to be Renee Newman. Pivot set to inbound. You got Outlaw out there with Mullins. Outlaw gets it. Kobe on him. He gives it to Newman, and Newman's little floater won't go. They have to foul here. Renee Newman had a lot of time there to work with, and he just sort of caught it midair and tried to fling it kind of at the hoop, and just wouldn't go down for him. 2.1. That's a non-shooting foul, I believe. I think Best Coast is going to have to foul again. Hopefully not allow too much more time to burn off the clock before they put APAC on the line. See if they have any hope of coming out of here with a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't get a good shot there offensively. Not sure what that play was. They got the big man in the middle of the paint. They just lobbed it up to him. Lene Newman, hope for the best, try to throw it in. It didn't work out. They only got 2.1 seconds.
The execution wasn't elegant, to say the least, but I do appreciate the thinking in getting it in Outlaw's hands and having him feed a teammate when all eyes and all attention get focused on number 7 out there. But I think Newman individually maybe should have either tried to go up a little bit higher and stronger and closer, or maybe brought that ball down and gone back up with it, at least got fouled on the attempt. But it's all in the past now. 2.9 seconds.
And free throws. Praying for missed free throws.
Oh, you got a foul again here, too.
Yep.
Steal on an inbound would actually probably not be a great scenario here for Best Coast. You just want to get that immediate foul, allow no time to tick off the clock so you can at least heave the thing the other way if hopefully Asia Pacific only hits 1 of 2.
And we do see Best Coast does have a timeout here, so if they were to get a steal in the inbound, they could call that.
They could quickly freeze it. Oh, you got to get out there and foul. Maybe they don't get to him in time. Outlaw tried to come over and foul, but he just didn't get there. That's it. For review, it's just over. APAC has ended their SimWorld season in some style. They have won now 3 games in a row. 4 of their last 6 games they've won. They are going to end the year on a winning record, 16-15, the 8th seed in that Legend Conference. And Best Coast, this one didn't mean too much, but it does drop them to 20-11. They will still be the second-ranked squad. They're going to go up against the number 7 seed. It's going to be for Asia Pacific their reward for the 8th place finish. Date with Trey Turner and Southeast Select, and all that and more is coming up starting next Saturday, August 12th, only here on SimWorld TV. And remember to be back tomorrow night. We got one more game on Thursday for you too. But this was a lot of fun. My own good self, Ilava, for my broadcasting partner in crime this evening, and for Yells and everybody else behind the scenes here at SimWorld. Thank you for being with us. Remember, this is the only place where you can see the game, be the game.